Okay. Today we have on the show Adewale Sulaiman, the founder of Xara AI. I've known him since earlier this year, probably February, when I saw his Instagram post promoting Xara. Unfortunately for me, we met at Moonshot and we had a bit of conversations. And I told him about bringing him on board on my show. And it was something he was open to, and finally we have it here. And talking about Xara, personally, it's a fintech product that I've hugely benefited from. And one thing I must commend Sarah for doing is the speed of operation, because they found a way to like cut out the time you have to take to open your banking app for making the transfer. Now you just go to your WhatsApp and just send the money to whoever you're sending it to. Personally, I just think that to come up with that idea is something entirely out of the box. And yeah, that's a good reason for him to be on this show today to talk us through his journey, to talk us through what even made him build something of this nature. Because I don't think I've heard anything like this and I don't think that's happened before in Africa. I believe this is first of its kind. So
Yeah.
for a start, we'll go through your background. But then, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm as good as someone who is handling a startup. It's not easy, but we are coping. We are coping.
Yeah, that's great. It's great you are coping. So we'll just start with your journey before Sarah. You've worked as a software engineer across multiple African markets, Nigeria, Zambia, and even beyond. What
Yeah.
did those experiences teach you about how people actually use fintech across the continent?
Um, Number one is I worked before all those uh, before I worked with those companies that are mostly on my resume online. I
Yeah.
started building products way back before then. For example, I started building products since 2011. So, and my first product actually was Facelet, or I called it FacePink, was supposed to be Facebook's competitor. So we probably will go deeper into that later in this interview. But let me quickly answer the question. I'm working with multiple Nigerians and diaspora and other African countries has taught me that we all face very similar problems in Africa. For example, the Zambian app that I worked on, we could hardly find a proper payment gateway to integrate. In fact, I could remember we had to integrate directly with MasterCard, which is not the case in Nigeria. A lot of those things has been done, the heavy lifting has been done in this country. But what I've realized is that payment infrastructure in other African countries is still way, way, way behind, which I think that's the biggest revelation I think I've realized working with other African countries apart from Nigeria. So yeah, that's it at that.
Okay, that's great. I believe we'll go into your Facebook competitor later during the call.
Yeah,
That's Faceless, right? So moving on to the next question. Now you've moved you are not just working as an engineer for Sarah, right? You've
yeah.
moved into leadership. You work with Kia, Boost, Voya. All this must have changed your perspective. What moment made you realize I'm ready to build something of my own?
Um, this is not my first product, as I said.
Yeah.
I've worked on. I've actually launched my own product, proper one. My first proper project, which I properly branded, was BuySafe. BuySafe was supposed to be an escrow system that stand between sellers on Instagram and buyers on Instagram, and that was in 2020. So this is not my first product. Just that is the first product a lot of people have known about me. So, and when BuySafe did not go as I planned, based on a lot of reasons, which we may have to go deeper into, but I stepped back. I I went back into my um, financing mode to be able to earn some money because one of the reasons why it failed was financing. So I had to step back and rethink the whole thing. So yes, And working with so many founders, as someone that has built a lot of startups, some being successful, some raising hundreds of thousands of dollars, while some
Yeah.
actually failing too. I can say I learned a lot from their mistakes. I think that adds to one of the reasons why it kind of feels like Zara is doing everything right at the moment. And I think that's mostly because of the lot of things that I've learned from working with founders. Because as an engineer, I don't just stay that, okay, I will write the code and just hand it over to you. I like to get involved with people that hired me. I like to, sometimes I even go to their launching, stand as a CTO, which I'm not, just to make sure that the product is um, very successful. So I love their success. So I get more involved in the running rather than just stay with the engineering part of it. So I've learned a lot by just being that. So yes, I think it has really helped shaped me to today. So that's one of the reasons why we have been able to preserve to this extent.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that fascinates me about you the most. That you're a very technical person, and still you still come out to market this product. I have highly
Yeah,
technical guys, and if you tell them to face the camera, they'll tell you no. They kind of just stay away from that. They prefer talking to the computer all day. Like I really
yeah,
think that that's a special attribute from you. Moving on to the next question. You've touched remittances, lending, and payments. How
yeah.
did all these pieces come together to form the idea for Sarah?
I think they taught me that Nigerians are very hard to build for. And if you are building a fintech in this country, you have to you have to know your onions. You have to be very good from the engineering point of view, mostly, because your system will be tested. So, with that being said, it's a good thing, and it's it means if your software can survive in this market, it can survive anywhere else. So
Definitely.
building fintech in the past has taught me a lot of things, and that's also has made us avoid a lot of mistakes, and also had put me in a very defensive mode. So we don't take anything for granted on this side. So yes, it's from all of it what I learned from my experience building fintechs in the past. So yes, they definitely shape how we build at Zara right now.
Okay, that's great. We are moving on to the next section now, where we talk about the reason behind Sarah. What gap did you see that others were not paying attention to? What pain made you feel that this? What pain made Sarah feel very necessary?
Okay, so I'm someone that I'm a very big critic of fintech industry in this country. Whenever a new fintech app comes, I was the one to first criticize, like, not, no, not another app, no,
It
not
feels like
another
all of them are doing the
remittance.
same thing.
He said,
It feels like all of them are doing the same thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I put my mind that I wanted the most simplest way to make payments, even for people that are not very tech savvy. I realized that building another app, giving them multiple buttons again, is not the solution. So I wanted a way to, in fact, Zara was not my first iteration to solve this problem. A lot of people did not know this. I built something in the past that I called Drop Pay. It did not make it to public. Drop Pay was supposed to work using Bluetooth,
Oh,
actually,
wow.
because I was targeting the people that ate all the technology, all the buttons that we are building. But some technical limitations from iOS stopped that from going to public. So that being said, I'm also a pro taking technology to people rather than forcing them out of their comfort zone to go and start downloading another thing. And that
Yeah.
can be evident in the way I built BuySafe, which is the product that I said I launched earlier. It was supposed to make your Instagram page your store. I don't want you to start downloading an app to put your item there. I want you to convert your Instagram page to the store. So probably in another interview we can talk more about that, about the idea, why it failed, and so many things that can be said about that. But to keep into the conversation, I love to take technology to people rather than force them out of their already used to system. So, and that's why uh, I built Zara. I wanted something that feels at home, that does not require learning anything. And that's exactly how Zara is. If you register on Zara, we will not give you any documentation or whatever. But we know that
Yeah.
you are just a message away from knowing how to use it. Just AI, it will direct you. And the moment you do your first transaction, you start using it because it's easy. There is no particular way you have to use it. It's just in your natural language. So that was exactly the goal. It's just that we chose WhatsApp because I think it's closer to the people and to Nigerians generally. Yeah.
Yeah, personally, the first day I opened Sarah, it just felt unreal, to be honest, because I thought that there would still be a lot of back and forth, do a bit of documentation to even open an account or link it to your bank. So everything happened under probably less than 2 minutes.
One,
It was so
yes,
fast.
very fast. Yeah.
Honestly, what you came up with is out of this world. I'll be very honest with you.
Thank
Now we are
you.
moving on to the next section. Building as an engineer founder. You've won
Yeah.
both arts, right? The builder who writes code and the founder who leads the people. Which one has been harder to balance?
I think you answered yourself actually. Both being able to balance the two is the hard part because I
Yeah,
loved building, and at the point that I am now, I have to do a lot of meetings, like a lot. You know how long we have to reschedule this? That's because meetings keep clashing. So I was never a meeting person, I will not lie, but at the point I have to do a lot of meetings. So I think the part of it is you said something earlier that I'm a lot of engineers don't like to face camera and all those things.
yes.
I'm actually a lot of engineers. I'm part of them. I was never, I was never,
Just
I
watch
was never the
yourself.
one that liked to face camera. In fact, before that, the last post on my Instagram page was 2023 or so because I don't
Wow.
really post. I'm not, but before I started Zara, I knew what was involved. I knew, yes, we had to do this. So I had to just challenge myself to be the one to talk to the camera, to go out, to preach. All those things are part of the things that I had to learn to do because I knew right from the beginning that they were very, very necessary. So yes, those are one of the hardest things that I had to get used to. Talking to people, talking to camera, not having to code all the time, all those things. Those are the hard parts. Yeah.
That's actually great. I really think that Sarah is very close to your heart. That's why you must have chosen to start facing the camera. Nah, this thing has to work.
Exactly. It is
Yeah,
very
moving on to
close.
the next question. As someone with deep DevOps and CID experience, what's one engineering principle that now guides your company building philosophy?
And simplicity. Uh,
Yeah, I really think
yeah,
so.
I think the the more experience I get, the more I value simplicity. And also, one of the things that I used to rate engineers is how they are able to do complex things the simplest way. So
Yeah.
everything, if you look at our landing page, everything about Zara, it's simplicity. So yes, I keep my things minimal. In fact, some of my engineers that we hired recently was shocked that okay, so is this minimal? Yes, I keep it minimal in terms of engineering rules. Just keep it simple. So yes, I think that over the years I've learned to keep things simple as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I really think that's true because once you open the Sarah's website, once you can't spend up to a minute in the Sarah's website before you understand what is happening. You don't even need anybody to tell you what
Exactly.
to do. It's
Exactly.
so simple.
Yeah.
Even people that are older, they will understand it
Mhm.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next section now, talking about the reality of being a founder. The first question here is, what was one myth about being a founder that you realized was completely wrong after you started Sarah?
This in particular. I think I've realized a lot of this uh, while working hand in hand with a lot of founders. You know, this is not my first exposure to startups. I've been
Yeah.
exposed to startups, but if I should go back in time, what I will realize is what I will say is that to build proper product that people will love, it's not simple. All the hard work you have to put it in, and you have to actually pay your dues. People are paying attention that whether you have actually paid your dues or not, and they know when you have paid your dues, and they know when to actually give you props. So sometimes you'll be doing. Actually, I think there are one point in my life where this was years ago. I know so much about engineering, and I had to ask myself one day that is my problem is knowing too much. Yes, actually. But later on, I realized that my problem was actually that I had not paid my dues. You had to. And most likely as an African, as a Nigerian, as a
Yeah.
black person, you nothing will be handed over to you. People will have to see you've made efforts, you paid your dues before they try to carry you from there. So yes, those are the things that's actually one thing I realized over the years that in terms of building products and startups, you have to pay your dues. Yeah. A lot of fintech products that we see that we love today, if you look into their stories in the past, you realize that they
Yeah.
didn't just appear out of nowhere. They were paying their dues for years. You just didn't see them. So yes, everybody at one point will have to pay their dues one way or the other.
Yeah, I really think you are right because I've watched an interview of Inyaboeji where he talked about paying your dues, especially when it comes to your regulators. You have to always find a way to be on the same page with them,
Yeah,
find a way to always be on their good side. Like it's a
yeah,
really genuine thing that if you're not on the same page with them, it can really mess up whatever it is the founder
exactly.
is building.
Yeah.
The, the next question here is every founder hits that wall where they say, should I keep pushing or pivot moment? Can you share yours? Can you share yours here?
I think it's too early for Zara for that question. So
Okay.
maybe in the future. So we are still starting, we are still early. So I know there's still a lot of work to do in the future. So having answer to this at the moment just will not be the right answer actually. So we'll give an answer to that as we move past this stage. Yeah.
All right, that's great. Now we're in the final section, which talks about the vision and advice. If Sarah succeeds exactly the way you dream, what does that success look like in 5 years?
Um, the success of Zara will be when the people that normally it's banking would now be saying, okay, send me your Zara, you know, the old people, because we have realized that the older generations, they really do love Zara a lot, like a lot. I made a video about something similar on my page. My dad is not very tech savvy, but the way
Yeah.
he uses Zara, anytime he comes to my house, it's always as if he's coming to explain how Zara is amazing to me. You're like, ah, I used the snap and send feature today. So, my dad is not tech savvy at all. In fact, you can even ask him to screenshot, he will not even know how to do it. But he knows how to use Zara because all of them already know how to send message on WhatsApp. So it's just that simple for them. So
Yeah.
yes, I want a situation where these people that normally will not even be able to use bank apps or other fintech apps can find solace with Zara, and
Yeah.
a situation where Zara becomes very successful, become an household name. Where yeah, I think at that point I'll be very satisfied that okay, my job is half done. Yeah,
Yeah, that's very fantastic. And for our parents, I really feel like they are our biggest fans in a lot of things we do.
yeah,
And it just feels nice for them to be our biggest fan.
yeah,
It's just a kind of personal feeling.
yeah.
Moving on to the next question. What advice would you give to software engineers building across Africa who are quietly dreaming about becoming founders but haven't taken that leap yet?
Like I said earlier, you need to get involved in the operation of things when you build for other people. There are a lot of things you learn from other founders, which will help you so much in your own career in the future. So don't just limit yourself to writing code, because if that's what I had done, I don't think I would be building Xara today. As much as I loved building, I kept learning from all the founders that I've worked with in the past. I learned from their mistakes. I learned from the right decisions they have made, and so much more. So I think it's all depends on mindset, and also don't. If I advise them in terms of engineering part of things, I think your learning should be based on what you need. So if you are too reliant on chasing new shiny technologies all the time, you keep wasting your time on new shiny technologies rather than building solutions for people. So let your mentality be focused on fixing problems rather than looking for new shiny technology to jump on. So that would be my advice for engineers looking to build startups, because building startups, solving problems requires you focusing on the problem so long that you start seeing solutions in everything. So
Yeah.
it's a mindset thing. You need to like build that mindset of solving problem before you can start solving it. Yeah.
That's great. That's really great. And I really think that's the right thing. Finally, the final question here. If you could describe your founder journey in one sentence, what would it be?
Um, One sentence,
Yeah,
I would say it is. It's been a roller coaster, and it's been amazing, honestly. So I can't complain. And yes, it's been amazing. It's been a roller coaster. Though a lot of things has been working in our favor. Also, there has been a lot of challenges that we have to overcome. So life is just both sides in this case. So yeah.
yeah, that's fantastic. Personally, I was expecting. I was guessing you say it was a roller coaster because every founder in Nigeria will probably tell you the same thing. They have the
Yeah,
good part, the bad.
yeah,
It's just, and
yeah,
I think the fact that it's a roller coaster, that's the fun part of it, the highs and
yeah.
the lows.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah, so let's enjoy the roller coaster.
yeah. Let's enjoy the ride.
Thank you for joining us on the show
Alright.
today. It's
Thank you
it's
for
so
having
nice to
me.
have you here, and we hope to see you more times and see how we can
All
further
right,
grow.
all right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
have
Thank
a
you so
great
much for
time.
having me. All right. Have a
Yeah.
good